Howdy, everyone. Welcome one and all to episode 3 of Sage Soliloquy with Zelda Sage of Fire, and that is me. I welcome you this morning. It's about 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Friday, November 23rd, 2012, the day after Thanksgiving. And as the title screen no doubt told you that this is going to be a special Thanksgiving Day episode. It's a day late, but I haven't slept. I woke up at 4:30 in the afternoon yesterday, so technically it's still Thanksgiving for me. So I'm going to start this episode off by giving you a short list of things that I am thankful for, because that really is what Thanksgiving Day is all about. It's not about stuffing your face with as much turkey and mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce and pumpkin pie as you can manage. It's not about waiting up until midnight and all those Black Friday sales start. It's not about any of that, really. It's about being thankful for what you have. And I have some things to be thankful for today. I believe I do. The first thing that I am thankful for is, of course, my family. They've helped me out and supported me a lot more than I typically think about, and I love them all dearly and appreciate them more than I probably show. I should probably try to be a little bit better about that this next year. So, if my family's watching, hopefully you'll give me a little grace if I screw it up, of course, but know that I love you very much, and I appreciate what you do and that you're there for me. The next thing I'm thankful for is my best friend Steve. Hey Steve, how you doing? Hopefully you'll be watching this at some point. Steve is my bro, my best friend. Has been almost since we met, and I couldn't ask for a better friend than him. He's stuck with me through thick and thin, through more things than anyone else has, and apparently I wasn't too scary for him that day in oceanography, so thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Love you, man. The next thing I'm thankful for, I'm thankful that I'm doing alright. I mean, my back hurts all the time. I might be flirting with a cold right now, but overall I think I'm pretty healthy, and it could be a lot worse. So I'm very thankful for that. And I'm thankful for all my other friends who are not Steve. Obviously, we probably haven't been through as much as Steve and I have, but I still appreciate you. I'm very grateful that you're in my life. And I have no shame in saying that, yes, I love you all. I love all my friends. You know who you are, because I'm usually pretty good about letting you know if I consider you to be a friend of mine or not. Alright, now on to the really serious things that I am thankful for. The first of which is Nintendo and The Legend of Zelda. I'm very thankful for Zelda and pretty much anything else Nintendo does, like Mario, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Star Fox, Pikmin, Baten Kaitos, Fire Emblem, Pokemon. Am I missing one? No, I don't think so. If I am, feel free to correct me. I'm very thankful for them. I probably, well, that might be a bit dramatic, so I won't say it, but they've definitely enriched the last 14 years of my life or so, give or take, back from when my grandpa Norm, my mom's dad, first introduced me to Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm also thankful for Dr. Pepper. It's probably the most divine beverage known to man. Yeah. I'm also thankful for music, my guitar, my drums, my ability to play them. I don't think I'm super good yet, but I'm getting there. I'm also thankful for pepperoni pizza and the Elder Scrolls and Slim Jims, meat and cheese. This is some good stuff. I'm also thankful for Easy Cheese, because it is delicious. I'm thankful for my cell phone, because it lets me keep in contact with the people that I want to talk to. Plus, because it's a Windows phone, I've got this killer Xbox Live app, if you can see that. See, there's my Xbox Live avatar. He's waving. He says hello. I'm also just thankful for books, anything that's in my room. And my cohort that you might have noticed in my last episode, Rodrigo, the Golden Chicken. I'm also very thankful for him and his presence here with me while I'm taping this episode. So, I think I should probably close it out now. The thankfulness, the gratefulness. Not to say that I'm going to stop being grateful, of course, but as you all know, I tend to ramble on, and time is short. Moving on. I do have some really good topics to talk about in today's video. The first one, provided by Shu from the last episode in the questions. He asked me, if you could be a character from any book or novel you have ever read, who would you be, and why would you want to be them? Which is an excellent thing to ask me, because of the vast amount of books I've written. I have not written many books, but I have read many books. Proof that I have not slept yet. I might misspeak a few times. It's a really tough question to answer specifically, because I have read so many books over the last few years. Because, I mean, there's a ton of characters in a book like Lord of the Rings, and a lot of them are cool, and they've got a vivid history, and you kind of see their progression, how they grow through this journey from this place to that place. And books by Tad Williams, between the Otherland series and Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, that's another one with a lot of believable and memorable characters that I got really attached to, that I felt they were like friends of mine, because, I mean, in Otherland, the books average, 800 pages a volume, and it is complex and intense, and quite frankly, there's a lot of boring patches. It can get kind of dry, but at the same time, those dry patches really help you to relate to the characters and really feel what they're going through, feel their emotions, and you can really get inside their heads. And he did it beautifully. A lot of the books I used to read were more kind of like crime and supernatural thrillers, not like teen thrillers, not any of that crap, but like Dean Koontz, a lot kind of along those lines. So a lot of those characters were this special agent, or in the case of Frank Peretti, this pastor or this church official or something. And usually they would have some sort of big defining character flaw, and they would have to get over that through the course of the book. Characters from those books, they're good, they're solid, they're relatable, but they don't quite have the depth that a character in a fantasy series does, in my opinion. Because in a fantasy series, you're watching and reading this character as this character starts at point A and moves along from there to points B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. It's more of a progression instead of getting through a single issue. That being said, I think the one character that I would choose to be from any novel that I've read is probably Sparhawk from David Eddings' series. He's the main character of two different fantasy series. One is called the Elenium, the other is called the Tumuli. Both by David Eddings, both trilogies, both excellent trilogies. And Sparhawk is one of the coolest good guys ever, because he has those little immature moments where this guy insulted him, and he's the hero, so he should be a bigger man and just let it slide. But no, he's going to cast a little spell, and boils are going to appear on his face, because he's like that. And when you tick him off, when you do something that really threatens him, he does not pull any punches. He is coming after you, and he's not going to just let you walk away. That's what I like most about him, is just that he's got that slight little bit of a renegade in him, where he's not the conventional hero, where he's just going to be righteous and absolute, and he's going to defeat the bad guys, but if they beg for mercy, he's not going to destroy them, because then he will become the evil he's fighting against. No, if Sparhawk corners the bad guy, he is going to kill him, because he knows the bad guy will escape and come back. And plus, he's got a super hot wife, the queen of Elenia. I think it's Elenia. Queen Alana. Read the books, you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Sparhawk. I'm thinking he's the one character I would be if I really had to choose. Alright, the next topic I have also comes from Shu, and that's another really good one. He originally asked, if someone, or you, wrote a book about your life, what do you think the title should be? And I really liked your post, Shu, adding on to that in response to my last episode. It's interesting because sometimes I'll model a monologue or even a blog post on my blog after Greg Proops, a comedian who does a podcast series called The Smartest Man in the World. It's pretty vulgar, but it's entertaining. You learn a lot of stuff you really didn't expect to learn. And he talks about Satchel Paige all the time. All the time. So I knew he was a great pitcher, and he was in the Negro Leagues, and honestly, it was kind of cool that you referenced him. I was a little bit surprised, and part of me wants to go find that book and read it even more now, because you mentioned it after I've already kind of known about it from Greg Proops. And it's an interesting story about how he wrote the book and came up with the title and whatnot, and it kind of got me thinking about what I would call the story of my life. I mean, right now I'm only 23. Most people would tell me, you're too young to start thinking about writing an autobiography, and it's like, well, look at the Biebs. Justin Bieber wrote an autobiography, and he's, 17? Yeah. Anyways. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect to see an autobiography about my life anytime soon, to be quite honest. I'd rather have more stuff to write about, quite frankly. But thinking about a title, I'll be honest, I didn't have a title ready for you. I'm trying to kind of think of one on the spot. Even though I said I wanted to think about a title and have one for you. I apologize. It would probably be something kind of cheesy along the lines of chasing clouds with a kite. Probably something like that. I would find some way to tie it in and make it make sense and be a good thing. But it's kind of clever, it's kind of catchy, it's kind of got some weird meaning to it. I think that would work. So yeah, that's probably what I would title my autobiography if I were to write one right now. The title may change, it may not change. I have no idea. But if it ends up happening, I'll let you guys know. Alright, I think that shall do it for the main topics today. Let's move on to questions from the Peanut Gallery. First question, interestingly enough, also comes from Shu, and it's also another good question about books. Shu, you're awesome. What is your favorite book or books of all time? And what is it about them that you like? Lord of the Rings. Easy. I mean, I've read a lot of good books. A lot of good books. And as you can see just from the shelf right behind me here, I've got a ton of books. I mean, between this bookshelf, that bookshelf, and all along the wall, I've got at least 300 books. At least. Not to say I've read all of them, but I own many, many, many books. And despite all the good books I've read recently, I can still say The Lord of the Rings is my favorite book, because Tolkien originally intended for it to be a single novel instead of 3 books. The publisher made him do that. So yeah, I would say Lord of the Rings. And why is it my favorite? It's just the scope of the world. The scope of Middle-earth. The fact that Tolkien took the time to just fully create this world. He didn't just say, hey, I'm going to make this fantasy world called Middle-earth, and there's going to be men and elves and dwarves and hobbits, who are also called halflings. Most people don't even know they exist. There used to be dragons in here, but they've been killed off because they were greedy and stupid. There's going to be a Dark Lord named Sauron who creates this ring of power and wants to control everything. He didn't do that. He between the Silmarillion and the Histories of Middle-earth, it's 12-volume series. It's very dry reading. Very dry reading. You have to be a dedicated fan and lover of Middle-earth to really appreciate them. But using those as a companion to Lord of the Rings, he created a living and breathing world. And he created languages for this world. He created them. He was a linguist. It's what he did. He studied languages, and he created languages for this place. Believable languages that you or I could learn and speak in. And to me, that is huge. It was huge. Plus, just the way he writes, the way the characters are believable and they feel real. I just love it. And plus, then Peter Jackson made the best book-to-movie adaptations I've ever seen, and I've seen a few in my day. But most anyone else will agree with me. If you watch Lord of the Rings and then you read the book, yes, he made changes. He took some parts out. He might have removed a character. But when you hear his reasoning behind it, it makes sense. And the stuff they did keep and the stuff they did do is very, very close. So, yes, to answer your question, Shu, it is Lord of the Rings. Alright. Moving on to the next question. From Nintendo Queen, my rival. She asks me, what is your favorite color? Blue. Navy blue. Dark navy blue. Kind of the color of my guitar, actually. Which, depending on the photos, it looks kind of purple, but maybe someday I'll take a better one and it'll be blue and it'll be good. Actually, Nintendo Queen NQ, if you want to look up a picture of like the Seattle Seahawks logo, that blue, that dark blue, that's my favorite color. Oh my. Big list from Talizora now. Some of these I can just kind of rapid fire. Some of them I might have to talk about a little bit. Okay. Her first question goes, if you were an NPC in a video game, what would you be and why? This question makes me chuckle a little bit, because part of me wants to be like a cool sidekick kind of guy who you do a couple quests for, and then I just get to follow you around and kill stuff. But part of me also wants to be the senile old man living off in a hut in the middle of nowhere who's just going to have you go get the weirdest combination of things over and over and over again, and then give you like a worn out left shoe as your reward for finishing the chain. So I think I'm going to probably go with the old man, because that would be so fun. Plus, that's the kind of old man I'm probably going to end up being anyway. So, your next question. If you could create a new flavor of soda, what would it be? Well, quite frankly, I wouldn't. As I already stated earlier in this video, Dr. Pepper is the most divine beverage known to man. And I don't see a reason to try and compete with it when it's already reached, perfection. So, I wouldn't create anything. I might eliminate some, like orange soda. I can't stand orange soda. It is disgusting. I've never understood how people could drink that stuff. So I would just turn all orange soda into Dr. Pepper so that there's even more Dr. Pepper. And your next question, what is the perfect sandwich? The most perfect sandwich I think I've had recently is a French dip with Swiss cheese from a place called Billy Heartbeats down in Portland. Oh my goodness, it was delicious. It was perfection. Thinly sliced roast beef, marinated in au jus with Swiss cheese on a toasted and buttered hoagie roll. Oh, it was so good. It was the best. So that one right now is my perfect sandwich. That might change with my mood and if I have another one that tastes that good, but right now that is totally my favorite sandwich. If any of you are ever in Portland, Oregon, go to Lloyd Center and eat at Billy Heartbeats. Good prices, great food, great service. You'll love it. What are my favorite pizza toppings? Cheese and pepperoni. I keep it simple. It's cheap and easy to cook. Sometimes I'll buy some feta cheese and crumble feta cheese on top. It's actually really good. But yeah, just straight pepperoni is usually my favorite. Can you play the drums with your feet? No. You ever tried holding the drumstick with your foot? Not so easy. Besides, I need both my feet to work the kick pedals. I did play drums with spatulas one time. I was helping Steve out at a practice one time, and I didn't bring my drumsticks. And we were using an electric kit, so I tried just bashing on the drum pads with my hands, and that didn't work so well. So he rummaged around in the building and found spatulas, and I used spatulas as drumsticks. Ended up breaking the metal one, the flat part that you flip grilled cheese sandwiches and pancakes with. That broke off in my hand, but we made it through, and people didn't kill me. So, moving on. Have you ever played a Zelda game upside down? Of course. Any Zelda game I play it upside down at least once, along with most other games. You can't really say that you've played a game until you've flipped yourself around and tried to play it upside down. It's just how it goes. Cats or birds? Cats. Definitely cats. Birds they freak me out. I had a cockatoo fly at me one time, and I think I'm scarred for life. It honestly scared me. Ugh. Okay. Name your top 5 movies and why. Well, much like how I lumped Lord of the Rings into a single book, I'm going to lump the Lord of the Rings trilogy into a single movie, because it's not fair to the other movies that I like to just give that the 1, 2, 3 slot. So, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, boom, favorite movie. I have absolutely no problem sitting down and watching the extended versions, all three of them, 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 back to back in a single day. I'm actually probably going to do that sometime in the next couple weeks to get ready for The Hobbit. Yes! I'm so excited for that. Okay, my second favorite movie, Napoleon Dynamite. Heck yes, it is! Third favorite movie, probably Shanghai Nights with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. I think it's brilliant and hilarious. It's one of the best comedies I've ever seen. Next favorite would be School of Rock. It's a brilliant movie. It really is. I had a college professor, Dale Groff, who was almost just like Jack Black in School of Rock. He's a lot taller in a ponytail, beard, but he was so rad. I watched Homestar Runner. We saw Strong Bad episodes in class. It's pretty awesome. My fifth favorite movie, this might surprise some people, but I'm probably going to say Monsters, Inc. Pixar's Monsters, Inc. It's always been my favorite Pixar movie since I saw it. Brave came really close. Brave is pretty amazing, but Monsters, Inc. I would say probably takes the number 5 slot. And after that, it's just a big jumbled mess of all kinds of different things that I'm not going to list out right now because I'm nearing half an hour on this video. Which game is worse, Fable 2 or Final Fantasy 13, and why? I can't really give an honest opinion on Final Fantasy 13 because I haven't beaten it yet. It's a little frustrating that I think I'm halfway through Disc 2 out of 3, and I'm still in what feels like a tutorial. So that's kind of awkward, but the game is gorgeous, and the storyline is actually really engaging, considering I've never really played a Final Fantasy game before, because, quite frankly, they were always on the PlayStation, and I've never been a PlayStation guy. So, it is a gorgeous game. I love the combat system. So, I mean, I'm enjoying Final Fantasy 13. It's just kind of slow for like a good while. I still haven't reached the point where I can just customize my party and it's like a free roam thing. So, Fable 2, it is a good game. It is a really solid, good action RPG. But it is really not so good when you compare it to the first game in the series. I'd honestly probably put Fable 2 and Final Fantasy 13 on an even plane. Because, quite frankly, Kingdoms of Amalur has blown away any action RPG of that style on the 360 that I've played. Neither Fable 2 nor Fable 3 even come close, in my opinion. And then there's probably others that I haven't tried yet, but, I mean, play Kingdoms of Amalur for 2 hours and tell me it's not amazing. So I'm probably going to put them on an equal plane, because I like them, I enjoy them both, but in my opinion, they could have both been better. And the final question from Talizora that I will answer today, do I like big butts? Yes, I like big butts, and I cannot lie. There you have it. The final question I shall answer today is from Slasher. And he asks me, what is the high-speed velocity of an unladen swallow? To which I answer, African or European? That is my answer. Alright, so that looks like it's going to wrap it up for today. The questions I did not get to. I didn't answer 2 from Talizora. She asked me, can you show us a baby picture of you or a young picture? I can. I have no problem doing that. I just forgot to grab one today, so I'll probably include that at some point in the next episode, as long as it's not too scary and embarrassing. And the other question she asked was, if you got to direct a movie, what would it be about and who would I cast? And that's probably going to end up being one of the topics. Probably. Either way, it's happening in the next episode. Also, I got a late question, not from the pipeline, but from someone some of you know. Moonlight Zelda. Shout out to her. How you doing? She asked me what my favorite Zelda theory is. And since it's kind of an interesting and vaguely worded question, I basically get to talk about Zelda in the next episode, because that's going to be the main topic. So, next week you can expect me to talk about Zelda if I've directed a movie, and you're probably going to see a picture of what I looked like as a small child. Hopefully it shall be interesting for you. But now, as my time is up, for some of you it was probably up a while ago, but oh well. So I hope you have all had an enjoyable and good Thanksgiving. I hope you remember to stay thankful for the things you do have, especially with how commercialized and nasty everything's gotten these days. It's ridiculous. Even I was getting sick of the Black Friday ads, and I can have a high tolerance for commercials like that. So, I shall bid you all a very fond farewell, and I shall see you next time.